Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classics / Non Classics. This is episode number 1034 and Doubleshot number 928. Like I said in my previous review, this is going to be a review on two Batman trades. Yeah, I bought these Barnes & Noble. First up is a really thick one. This is Batman Under the Red Hood. This collects Batman 635, 641, and 645, 650 plus Batman number 25. Yep. Written by Judd Winnick. Yeah, he writes all the issues in this particular trade. And, of course, artwork by Doug Mankey, Paul Lee, Shane Davis, and Eric Battle. The cover art is done by Matt Wagner, Jock, and Shane Davis, who's also one of the hero artists. This production is by Curtis King Jr. Now, before I get started with the actual storyline here, those of you curious, though, where in the world is 642 to 644? There is a place where these three issues are. A couple trades. One, of course, is the new printing of the War Games trades. Yeah, that actually collects 642 and 643 and 644. 643 and 644 also collected in the War Crimes trade. Yep. You can kind of call these issues the Red Hood Saga because it's all about the Red Hood in these issues. Yep. Basically, yes, this particular storyline was adapted into a film, which, yes, I have seen. And it does cut like a lot of this storyline. I mean, there's like, I would say the first part of it was adapted. They skipped over like a little bit here and there. But the ending is pretty much the same as it was in the film. But they cut a lot of stuff. I do mean a lot. Yep. Now, the thing starts off with Red Hood fighting Batman and see him get unmasked. But here's kind of the interesting thing about this particular storyline. This is a series of stories. Yes, the first one's called Under the Hood. Yes, that was the original name of the trades, Under the Hood. Yes. And that was simply put 640. That was 635 to, I think it was, I'm not sure what issue it was. I think it wrapped up by 638, I think it was. Yep. Now, there are various characters in this storyline. Not only Batman and Red Hood himself, you also have Nightwing, Black Mask, yeah, appearing here after the events of War Games, Mr. Freeze. You also have the character Onyx, who, as far as I know, this is technically one of her last appearances she made prior to the Flashpoint reboot. We also have, Green Arrow pops up in here, along with Superman. Yes, Superman pops up in here. Trying to think who else pops up in here. Let's see. Oh yeah, we also have the Joker pops up in here. And believe it or not, I actually own a few of the issues individually, but they're in one of my boxes buried someplace. I don't remember where they are, but I do own a few issues of the storyline. Yep. Now, Winnick was coming up with this when he was working both Outsiders and Green Arrow. This is a new printing. Now, the reason why it's called Under the Red Hood, despite the fact the original story was Under the Hood, and of course the original trades, it's called this because of the film that adapted this particular storyline. Yep, that's pretty much the reason for it. We also have a guest star appearance here by Deathstroke, Captain Nazi. Yes, Captain Nazi. Yeah, he's a minor villain. The Hyena, and Count Vertigo. Yes, Count Vertigo appearing in a Batman book. A character who is literally not a Batman villain, and yet he appears in here. The only reason I think that Winnick threw him in here because why not? Heck, we even have an issue toward the end of the storyline, which actually was not in the film, by the way, which took place during an issue of Infinite Crisis, when the Secret Society, or suggested by Deathstroke, to drop chemical like an atomic bomb on an American city, Bloodhaven. And Winnick wrote the stupid line, which everybody really hated this, that it was implied that Dick Grayson was killed in Bloodhaven when it was destroyed, though it wasn't. Though here's the thing about it. The Dio apparently doesn't like Dick Grayson at all. He's never cared about this character, and he really wants to kill this character off. Infinite Crisis was the first time he tried to do it, but lucky enough, everyone told him, no, that is bullcrap. Okay, we're not going to do that. This is why I think, what are you going to tell us to do? We're not going to kill off Dick frickin' Grayson. And yes, I do believe the destruction of Bloodhaven. Heck, even Dixon agrees. Destroying Bloodhaven was an absolute stupid idea DC had in 2006. Yeah. This storyline came out from 2005. I think it wrapped up in 2007, I think it was. No, it started in 2003. Actually, it started in 2005. It did wrap up in 2006. Yeah. The annual is, simply put, trying to explain how the heck it came back to life. Though this was the first annual published when it came out since 2000. Yes, because DC has stopped publishing annuals. So why not do another annual? At least this one actually was a revived issue number instead of, let's say, what Marvel did with Uncanny X-Men by rebooting the numbering for the annuals for no explained reason. Just because they love that number one. At least DC didn't pull that bullcrap until 2011. But this, of course, is an awesome storyline. I do recommend people fans of the Red Hood. It's a good place to start from. This book, a 9.5 out of 10. It's really good. Now, during the storyline, Red Hood actually managed to appear in 2 books outside of this. He appeared in an issue of Teen Titans, where he fought Tim Drake to figure out who's better Robin. He also guest starred in an issue of Green Arrow. Yes, because Winnick was running at that point. But after the storyline, Red Hood would appear somewhat after this. He would appear in such things as Red Hood Lost Days, Battle for the Cowl. He appeared in the first arc of Batman and Robin, where he got an updated costume. He also returned toward the end of the series before the relaunch. And that's all they pretty much did with Red Hood I could think of prior to Flashpoint. What else has he done? Well, he's had he's had at least 3 ongoing series that feature him as a starring character. Of course, now he's basically solo. He's got a redesign for his costume. Let's see, what else? He would also make occasional appearances outside of the Red Hood book. Oh yes, also in the current continuity, it's implied he slept with Rose Wilson. Yep, slept with Rose Wilson. Though there's no mention of that in this continuity. Nope. I don't know if he ever actually met Rose Wilson prior to Flashpoint. I don't remember if he did or not. Yeah. But that's it for this particular storyline. But I do recommend people also, and it's also sort of a semi-sequel to Death of the Fan, which the annual basically has the alternate scene they were going to publish for that particular storyline, with Jason Todd being alive briefly before he finally died. And how the heck he came back is one of the most bizarre explanations. Lucky enough, New 52 relaunch managed to use the movie's version of events of how he came back to life. Yes, how did he come back to life pre-Flashpoint? Superboy Prime punched the walls of reality because he had a hissy fit, so Jason Todd woke up in his grave, dug himself out of his grave, and then he basically, well, he's still in Gotham. He got basically taken to hospital, was in a coma for a while. He was on the streets briefly, and then Talia found him, brought him to the Lazarus pit, had him take a dip in it, and of course they wouldn't bother to figure out exactly how he came back anyways. Also, Jason Todd got a chance to make out with Talia, because why not? And then, of course, that particular annual would later lead into the Red Hood Lost Days miniseries. That's simply put what the annual was. It was a backdoor. It was basically a prelude to that miniseries. I've read it. It's really good. I will eventually get my hands on that particular miniseries because I really do want to talk about it. And in case you're wondering, is it written by Joe Winnick? Yes, it is. Because Winnick loved this character so much. Alright, next up is another Batman book. This is a classic book from the 90s. Now, this is also part of that trilogy of books that basically him and Tim Sale did. Well, basically Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale did. This is Batman Haunted Knight. And yes, it's done by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. These are a series of one-shots published from 1993 to 1995. Yep. These are Batman Legends Dark Knight Halloween Special, Batman Madness, A Legend of the Dark Knight Halloween Special, and Batman Ghost Legends Dark Knight Halloween Special. Yep. The first story is inspired by, well, actually just the original story. The second one's inspired by Alice Wonderland. Last one's inspired by Christmas Carol. The first story involves the Scarecrow. Yep, the Scarecrow. Because why not? In case you're wondering, in case you might ask the question, is does he rhyme in this storyline? Oh yeah, he does. He rhymes. He also takes a group of kids. Actually, that's Matt Hatter does that. Also, Tim Sale gives him this weird looking mask. Yes, where he looks kind of different than he normally depicted. Yeah. Here's a close up of the man's mask. Apparently, it looks like he just stitched things together from a few different stuff that he just basically had lying around. He does this whole normal thing of basically making people nuts. hmm But yeah, he's the main villain of this whole one shot. We also have a guest star appearance by Commissioner Gordon. Well, Captain Gordon this period of time. Then we also have a woman whose name is Julian. What is her name? Jillian Maxwell. Though this is a subplot in here. Yeah, it's the B plot. Yeah, apparently this woman is a Black Widow. Yeah, she will latch onto some guy, kill him, and then she'd pretty much take his money. Yep. Despite the fact they had a really good time together. Now, the second one shot is basically the main villain of this one shot is the Mad Hatter. Yep. That's simply who's the main villain of the second one. Yeah, the Mad Hatter. Yep. Who also briefly kidnaps Barbara Gordon, the daughter of Captain Gordon. Yep. And there's also stuff on here involving the Scarecrow, who also kidnaps Captain Gordon. Though he also, yeah, I thought this was Mad Hatter, but yeah, it was actually, yeah, he kidnapped Commissioner Gordon, but yeah. Second was all focused on the Mad Hatter. He's pretty much the main villain of this second one. And yes, this is how his normal height is. Despite the fact in the cartoon series, the anime series 90s, picked him as a normal average sized guy instead of like a midget like he normally is. There's also stuff involving, well, him kidnapping kids and making them like Alice. That's even the whole gist of this particular thing, but it's all about the Mad Hatter. And this apparently is a very young Barbara Gordon. Yep. She looks like she's about 12, 13 years old. She's got long hair like she normally does. And she's got glasses. I really love this. Now, this is normally something that Batman does. Busting through windows. And instead, it's Captain Gordon. I'm like, okay. Who gave him this bright... Now, this is normally something Batman does, but Gordon? No, this is not normally something he does. And so basically it's like, okay, Mad Hatter runs away and Batman asks before he goes, like, is she alright? Yeah, she will be. He says, get the Hatter. Yep. And he comes across Mad Hatter, takes out his gun and basically bashes him against a freaking mirror, which probably ends up in a freaking hospital. Yeah. And Batman does the whole thing of disappearing just while he's looking at her. And Gordon's like, yeah, he does it all the time. Daddy, I'd like to go home. Babs, yeah, let's go home. Okay. It's a nice little one-shot. The last one is focused on, believe it or not, the villains of this one are basically illusions of Poison Ivy, the Joker, and the Penguin. Also, for some reason, when the Penguin pops up in here, he looks like this. This is the frickin' Penguin. I'm like, okay, why is his teeth so frickin' tiny? Yes. He also looks a bit thinner than he normally does. Yeah. This is pretty much all about Batman and Lucius Fox. Yeah, Lucius Fox in this one shot. Yep. And basically involves like a mistake he made in the past about mainly the whole thing about this one shot is setting up the Wayne Foundation, which is a good charity thing. And of course, the whole thing is in Halloween. Yeah, Halloween version of Christmas Carol. Yep. All these one shots are really good, and yeah, but pretty much with this, I pretty much reviewed all 4 books. All 4 books of the Jeff Loeb Tim Sale books for Batman. Because you also have this, Long Halloween, Dark Victory, Catwoman When in Rome. Yep, this is the last one. Give this book a 9.5 out of 10. The only book I can think of they did for DC, aside from the books, the 4 books they did for Batman, Superman for All Seasons. Yeah, they only did like 5 series for DC. 5 stuff for DC. For Marvel, they did like the comic book, which is Spider-Man Blue, Hulk Gray, which I haven't reviewed that one yet, Daredevil Yellow, Captain America White, and, well, I think it was like Thor, Wolverine / Gambit Victims, and it was also the Wolverine / Havoc Meltdown miniseries. I've reviewed most of their stuff they've done so far, but the ones I have reviewed is basically all 5 DC books now, Daredevil Yellow, Spider-Man Blue, and Captain America White. Yep. Excuse me. Yeah. The thing with this particular one is that you probably think it takes place after Dark Victory. It actually doesn't. This storyline does not take place after Dark Victory. It's very heavily implied because this came out before Long Halloween. This takes place before Long Halloween. Because there's no mention of the stuff that happened in those 2 particular limited series. And plus, this came out well before Long Halloween. Yep. So yeah, not much else to say about these 2 trades, but they're really, really good. Thoroughly enjoyable. Oh, in case you're also wondering what came next for the Bat books, right, what came next after Batman after Under the Red Hood? Well, it was the face-to-face story by James Robinson. Yeah, that storyline came next. And then it was the Grant Morrison stuff, mostly anyways, with the exception of a few issues done by John S. or Tom Mandrake with a 4-parter known as Grotesque, which is still not in trade, by the way. And then after that, we had a storyline involving Neil Gaiman, and let's see, it was Neil Gaiman. There's also another issue that's actually not in trade for some reason. I think it was like 652. I think no 652. I think it was like 6. It was basically the 2-part that happened like right after the events of whatever happened to the Dark Knight. Yeah, you have that. Yeah, briefly returned Doug Winnick on the book, and then mostly up until the relaunch, you had Tony S. Daniel on the book, with the exception of a few issues, like a few of them by returning Grant Morrison, and a couple others by David Haim. Yeah, which I do have most of those trades on order right now. Yeah, so that's it for this particular review. I have one more review coming. That'll come later, a little bit later, after I get the episodes done, of course, after I get these 4 videos up. So, now review, hopefully, of the second part of my review series for Triple X Holic. Okay? But do you see you next view? Bye.